There is a right and wrong way to flat iron your hair. So I see people all the time just kind of doing it, just getting the iron through their hair, but there is a rhyme or reason to a beautiful flat iron hair, you know, the long, stick straight, shiny, red carpet hair that takes it from what you do maybe after the workout at the gym or on a busy morning to a really beautiful red carpet, shiny, elegant, elevated flat iron straight sheer hair. So follow along. I'm going to teach you a couple tips and tricks. You're going to want to stick around till the end because I promise you you're going to leave with a better way to do this look. It's going to be shinier. It's going to have a little shape. It's going to have my celeb hairstylist tips to get you to a place that's really like something elevated. Okay, first of all, I am going to save some time. I rough dried my hair. And by rough drying, I just mean instead of spending a lot of time polishing my cuticle, getting a perfect little bouncy blowout, that is kind of gonna be a waste of time. This is one of the big tips. I just wanna get my hair dry and mostly smooth. I have curly, frizzy hair. When I run the flat iron through my hair, I want it to glide through, so I don't want any super waves to be there. It's going to protect your hair a little bit more, and also I think you'll get a better result if you just have a nice, dry, smooth look. For the hair around my face, I am gonna blow it out with a brush, just to create the shape that I want. This is a part of the hair around your face you don't wanna skimp on time on. Back here you can because you're gonna run an iron through it, so you don't need to really get it perfectly defrizzed, smooth, all of that. You can save time here. That's a big time saver. But around your face, you want the shape. So this is one of the big tips. So I'm going to just blow out my hair real quick. I'm gonna speed you up and then we're gonna get to the flat ironing. Loud crow. So what you want with a flat iron look is a little bit of volume at the roots. I think it's gonna make it look less like a sinking little drowned rat, and more of like an intentional, there's shape, there's volume, there's health, there's movement. So that's why I'm gonna do the blowout around my face now. And you can see the little bit of lift that gave. And again, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on the ends because we're gonna go over that with the flat iron. I just wanna get it dry and genuinely smooth. If you already have straight hair, just get it dry. I would spend a little time around your face, around your hairline to put a little bit shape in, but basically we're just going for the ends to be dry and the hair around your roots to have a little bit of lift, a little bit of bouncy health, and then the rest of the hair could be just dried. Up for volume. See, a little shape. Now I'm going to, with no brush, just go through and rough dry to make sure there's no wet spots, because we don't want wet hair going into a flat iron. You're gonna ask for some damage. So I'm just gonna make sure everything's dry. Oh, I wanted to say, today I'm using GHD products. These are straight out of my professional hairstyling kit. I love GHD. This is not paid, this is not sponsored. This is truly out of my hair kit. I'm gonna use the GHD blow dryer and then the GHD Chronos. I love the flat irons because they're like, it's got smart technology in there. I don't know, I'm a hairdresser, I'm not a iron scientist. There's no hot spots, there's even plates. The plates are super smooth. There's something about the Chronos, it makes time, it cuts the flat iron time in half. You have to go through a couple less times. And I'm also, wow, my hair's frizzy. I'm also gonna use Orbe Gold Dust Dry Heat Protection Spray. Whenever there's an iron in general, you want to use a heat protection, but especially when you're using a flat iron, because when your hair is sandwiched between two hot plates, you really want to make sure that you've got some heat protection going on. I'm going to heat up the iron, and we'll start on the technique I use for my clients on the red carpet. Okay, she's plugged in, making a little turning on sound. We're gonna take, first of all, let's put in a part, because I think that stick straight hair needs a well-defined part. I just think it makes more sense for this something so technical to be kind of precise, and those little details matter. When that little ding happens, that means it's hot. You know, it doesn't have to be perfection, but it definitely was a little bit wild from my blow dry. And something I learned in beauty school was if you put your finger somewhere on your head and you're trying to like make a straight line, your other hand will automatically meet your finger. I don't know if this is real or not, but that's what I was told in beauty school. So even if you don't know where you're going, your one hand will meet your finger. I don't know, biology. That's good enough. I got my roots done, but they're already starting to come in. Okay, the other thing I'm gonna use is a comb that's a little bit wider, like deeper, wider than other combs. This is a thick comb, so it will be able to grab the hair in a bigger section. We're gonna take the smaller tined part of the comb. I'm gonna start at the very bottom and we're gonna work our way up. I'm gonna take small sections. So if your sections, this is another tip, if your sections are too big, also I just whacked my head, my ear, with my mirror fell over onto me and my ear got whacked and now it's red. I put concealer on it, but if you still see it, it's still distracting, I'm sorry. If your sections are too big and you're running it through the flat iron, what's gonna happen is the hair that's closest to the plates will get extra heat and the hair in the middle won't get the smoothing properties, it won't get the even heat distribution. So don't take sections that are larger than about an inch, basically an inch by an inch, give or take. You know, it's hard to see the back of your head, but that's a general rule of thumb. We don't want giant sections. The other little disclaimer I wanna make is, see all these flyaways? I think I'm going through a crazy growth period. I've been using the red light, what is it called? Current body red light helmet, and I've been taking a lot of collagen. I'm trying to grow my hair back. I've had some hormonal hair loss, and anyway, I keep talking about this, but I'm having a hard time taming all of this new little taming all of these little new growth flyaways. So just bear with me. I have dark hair in front of white background, so it is what it is. All right, we're gonna give an even little spritz of heat protector. I'm gonna go through, we don't want any tangles, any snarls, because if a tangle meets any iron, you're asking for breakage. We're gonna get the iron super close to the roots, but first I'm gonna put the comb, the tiny sides. We're gonna guide the iron down the hair by the comb. So you're gonna do this a couple times, and what we're doing is polishing the hair. You see? Little section by section. I kind of think it's kind of like when you're doing a cat eye. You don't need to do it all at once, one big swoop. You do it in little, it's just easier. It's the same with this. So it's a tiny little section. I'm gonna show you more as we get closer for you to see. Always, 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 always heat protector. Once through, no tangles. Then the comb is in, I'm gonna put the iron really close to the roots, and we're gonna just work our way down the hair. And as you get to the bottom, here's another pro tip. We're not going to go straight down. We're gonna give just the slightest little bend in. If yours sticks straight, I think it tends to look a little unhealthy. But if there's a tiny little, subtle little bend at the bottom, it just looks a little more polished. So that section was tiny. I'm gonna do another one and then I'll speed you up and we'll finish this technique off together from the front. Clean sections, kind of a big section. Clip this out of the way. So if you take a section that's too big, we don't want to put that heat on it because again, it's gonna do damage. We don't want to damage our hair in an attempt to look cute. So comb through once, run it through. Heat protector has gone in. I'm gonna get my comb ready in one hand. I don't know, I'm right-handed, so I have my comb in my left hand. I'm gonna put it all the way at the top of the roots, like that. I'm gonna put the iron all the way as close to the scalp as I can. Comb, iron, comb, iron, comb, iron. And again, when I get to the bottom, we're doing just the slightest little curve in. It's not dramatic, it's just, it's different when it's straight down. This is, I promise you, this will make sense as I get towards the front. All right, comb, small tines, comb all the way up the top, and we're gonna put the iron as close to the roots as possible. Comb, iron, comb, iron, comb, and then the slightest bend at the bottom, slightest little curl in, just like that. All right, I'm going to continue on. I'm going to speed you up and I'll see you in a second. The back is flat ironed, and now I'm going to do the front bits together. Again, we're going to take about just like a little 1-inch section, clip your hair out of the way. You want clean sections. And you know how I said the hair at the bottom, I give it a little turn in? I have these little layers. If you have little layers around your face, you, sorry, this Gold Lust heat protection spray, it's really ambient in here with the heat of the lights. So you're gonna wanna do that same motion with the layers around your face. You want them just to have a little bit of bend. So I'm gonna give it a little spray. We're constantly moving the iron. We're not letting it sit. It's not too thick of a section. We're going to put it all the way up at the top. Get your comb ready. Oops, it's the wrong side of the comb. I want the small tines. And we're just guiding the iron down the hair, turning it in a little bit, you'll see. Really polishing the hair, really getting any frizz, any wave out, little bend at the ends. But I wonder if you can see this part is kind of coming in around my face, and that's how you know it's a good sectioning job. A good ironing, like I got the right shape in. So I'm just gonna repeat this. Comb through, no tangles. We're gonna get all the way up at the root as close to the scalp as possible. Pull it down a little bit. Get the right side of the comb. And then we're just gonna turn the iron in a little bit so that those face framing layers get that bend. Working in small sections all the way down the hair. The very bottom, we're gonna give it a little bend. I just love how that heat protection gives a little bit of shine as well. It's perfection. All right, so for this piece, we're gonna make sure that the part is still nice and straight, which it is. I'm gonna hold my breath, give a little spray. I'm gonna give it a comb through, and then I'm going to, what I don't wanna do is put a kink in the hair. So I'm gonna hold the hair completely out, perpendicular to the scalp, and I'm gonna, if I did it like this and I went in like this, there's an angle that you're gonna get where the corner of the plate is going to leave a mark, and we don't want that. So we're gonna pull the hair up. We are gonna accentuate the flyaways, but we're gonna have to tackle those later. But I'd rather have some flyaways than where you can see the line where the iron was. So you're gonna pull it all the way out. You're gonna put the piece of hair directly into the middle of the iron. You're gonna clamp the iron and you're gonna go directly out. Instead of going down, that's where you're gonna run into some problems. So once we get that initial one in, pass through, pull and guide till we get to the bottom. Oh, it's hot in here. So you see, I don't have any kink mark from the iron. Can you see that? No kink where the blade it was. It's just straight. And because I lifted the iron straight up, I haven't deflated the volume that I put in with the blow dryer. I'm just gonna keep going on this side. Curve it in towards my face, these little short layers, and then work the iron down to the bottom. This hair kind of just comes in a little bit. I think that's really, it's very kind of Rachel from Friends. I'm not saying I look like Rachel from Friends, just saying that little like straight, flippy anything makes me think of her. And then these little tiny curly bits that I didn't get, I'm just gonna grab that hair with my fingers, no comb, and I'm just gonna run the iron as straight as I can just to smooth those out. And again, giving a little curve at the bottom. So we want straight hair, but we don't want a jagged hair. The curve is what gives it a little bit of health, the appearance of health anyway. I'm gonna pull my bangs out. I'm not gonna run the iron through my bangs as I do with the rest of the hair because they need their own a little attention. And also, I might not need to run the iron through the bangs. We're gonna see how it's going. They might be okay with just the blow dryer because you don't really want like straight bangs. I don't think that looks really cute. Kind of always do the bangs with the blow dryer. Wow, I am at a loss for words today. So sorry. Always put the comb in on the wrong side, so 100% of the time. So we're just bending the ends, very subtly bending the ends in all the way to the bottom, just like so. See that little tiny bend. And we've been taking thin sections, but the ones around the very top of your head, you're really gonna wanna make them thin because you're gonna have your biggest chance of not getting that little mark from the iron in. And again, we're gonna lift our hair straight up. We're not gonna put it in going like this. The hair is gonna go straight up. The iron is gonna go straight in. And we're gonna lift the iron straight up. We're avoiding any kind of bend in the iron because that's what's going to give those crease marks. So if you lift the hair straight up until you get to down here, then you can start to run it down through. I promise that will help you a lot. Just go straight up on those top parts. Really the parts around your face. Yeah, no kink marks, especially on this very last piece. Straight up, kind of lost my part now. If you've lost your part and you want to put it back in, just kind of brush it all forward. Give your head a little shake and it kind of will fall into where you put it before. It's just a little crooked. All right, the last thin piece, we want the ones where we're gonna have visible to be really thin so that you can be very precise with them. We're gonna give them a little spray of heat protector. And again, the iron is gonna go straight up. The hair is going straight up. The iron's gonna go straight up, just like that. And as you get to the middle of the hair, you can lay it back down and just finish the way you normally do. But that first initial pass, you want it to go straight up and really quick, not necessarily quick, but you don't wanna leave a lot of heat down there. Otherwise you're gonna get breakage. We're just gonna Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Give it a little bend. Just a little tiny tilt. You see I'm just kind of tilting the hair in like that. Kind of like this motion in towards the face. Which normally I like the hair to go away from the face, but this straight look, you really want it to be, I think that if you're going out, it's not, you're having an unnatural bend, like hair doesn't flip out. Most hair doesn't flip out unless it's having a moment. So my bangs are, I think they're okay. I might just pass through the very, oh my God, that heat protector. I'm just gonna pass through a quick pass through midway through the bang. Yeah, that's better. Now, my hair is straight, it's shiny. If my light is a little funny today, it's picking up the shine really, really nicely. What I always do at the very end is gather, kind of split my hair into half. So one side, each side goes forward. And what I'm gonna do is run my iron through the like kind of bottom quarter, whatever that means to you if you have shorter hair at the bottom quarter. What I'm gonna do is marry the sections together. This isn't 100% necessary, but I just find that the hair starts to, if you give it a couple passes where they kind of meld together, I'll show you what I mean. This side I'm gonna take the wide side and I'm gonna do all of this section. I'm gonna run it through and we're just kind of marrying all of the hair together. We're making sure that all of the hair has that tiny little bend in at the bottom, just like that. Also, I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. I know I said that before, but I really am getting a haircut tomorrow. I can't fit all my hair in the frame. It's gotten so long. So we're just accentuating that little bend. We're making sure all the hair has one cohesive iron, just like that. Sorry, my ringer is off. On. There's something about having this stick straight hair that's so satisfying. It's like I clean my house really well. I know that's a weird analogy, but I just love it. So that's basically it. So to review the tips and tricks, we are taking small sections so we don't, miss out the middle part and damage the outside sections. We're using a oh my God. We are not dragging the iron straight down and getting those stick straight ends. We're giving just a tiny little bend. We're using a heat protector. We're using a really good quality iron. We are guiding the iron through the hair little bit by little bit. Comb, iron, comb, iron, comb, iron, just like that. And as you get to the top, you're going to pull the hair straight up so that you are going to avoid any little bend marks from the iron, and using a heat protector and taking small sections and rough drying your hair so you're not adding extra heat. You don't need to blow dry your hair like crazy if you're just going to go through and smooth it out with the iron. So that's it. I hope that you found any wisdom from this video. I see people just, running it through and in the difference between straight hair and beautifully stick straight hair are those little tips. So thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me again. I hope you found this helpful at all, and I'll see you in my next one. Cheers.